Welcome back, everyone. I am so incredibly excited to jump right into another deep dive on The Explainer. Today, we're exploring a seriously fascinating psychological and astrological profile. It's known as Venus in the 12th house. Now, whether you're totally obsessed with astrological placements or honestly, if you're just someone who needs the absolute perfect ambient lighting to avoid a total meltdown, this explainer is going to be incredibly eye-opening for you. We're unpacking the architecture of hidden beauty. We'll see exactly how highly sensitive folks process their physical spaces, art, their completely private romantic lives, and ultimately, how they protect their precious emotional energy. So let's dive right into this deeply private inner world.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with absorbing your surroundings, then move into the deep impact of art, explore the hidden romantic world, look at seeking retreat and healing, and finally, wrap up with mastering emotional discernment.
Okay, before we get too deep, let's just make sure we're on the exact same page about what the 12th house actually is. In astrological psychology, the 12th house represents the realm of the subconscious. It's your hidden, intensely private inner world. Now, when Venus, which is the planet we usually associate with beauty, aesthetics, love, and values, is placed in this hidden house, all of those Venusian qualities turn completely inward. They become secret, hypersensitive, and honestly, profoundly deep. So with this specific placement, your relationship with beauty isn't just about what looks pretty on the surface, it literally governs your most private emotional depths.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Absorbing Your Surroundings and the Actual Weight of Physical Space.
The source material makes this absolutely clear. Your mood instantly shifts with your surroundings. And I'm not just talking about having a slight preference for a clean room. For you, a beautiful, harmonious space instantly uplifts you. It totally fills your tank. But on the flip side, a harsh, loud, or chaotic environment will quietly and rapidly drain the life right out of you. It completely lowers your energy. It's like you can literally feel the emotional weight of a chaotic room physically pressing down on your shoulders. It's this involuntary absorption of the environment's aesthetic and emotional frequency.
Think about everyday spaces, a room, a temple, a beach, a bustling cafe, or just your own home. For someone with Venus in the 12th house, you absorb the emotional atmosphere of these places so deeply that the environment itself influences your feelings way more than whatever actual event is happening there. Seriously, you could be at a massive celebration, but if it's in this harsh, industrial, poorly lit room, you're going to feel totally drained. Conversely, you could be doing something completely mundane, like reading a book in a beautifully designed, serene cafe, and feel completely rejuvenated. For you, the atmosphere literally dictates the emotional reality.
Moving right along to Section 2, the deep impact of art, or, as I like to think of it, echoes in the soul.
The absolutely crucial point here is that music and art affect you far more deeply than they do the average person. Let's just look at music for a second. A song isn't just 3 minutes of catchy audio for you. No way. Certain songs will stay with you for days, triggering these incredibly deep memories and stirring up profound emotions long after the music has actually stopped playing. The echo of that resonant art just reverberates through your subconscious, prompting some seriously long-term reflection.
Because of this heightened sensitivity, surface-level entertainment just doesn't cut it for you. You're not the type to just binge-watch reality TV to zone out. You are fundamentally deeply drawn to emotional depth. Expressive music, evocative films, complex paintings, creative works that carry real, tangible emotional weight, those leave a massive impact on you. You don't want to just stare at a screen and be distracted, you want to be moved. You literally require art that speaks directly to that complex, private inner world we talked about earlier.
Which brings us to Section 3, the hidden romantic world, and exploring those unspoken depths. So why do your deepest feelings remain completely unspoken? Think about it. If you have this psychological profile, you experience incredibly private, almost hidden feelings when it comes to love. You have this astoundingly rich inner romantic world, but so much of it just stays locked away inside. You feel things with this immense intensity, right? Yet you might hesitate to voice any of it, closely guarding that emotional core because it is just so incredibly sensitive to the outside world. Just sit with the emotional weight of this idea for a second. At times, your imagination can add beauty to situations that reality does not fully support. Wow. Because your inner world is so incredibly vibrant and deeply attuned to beauty, you have a really strong tendency to idealize people and experiences. You might actually find yourself romanticizing a genuinely terrible date simply because the restaurant had impeccable mood lighting. You see the poetic potential in a relationship or a person, and your imagination just sort of paints right over the harsh realities. It's a beautiful trait, for sure, but it's also a major vulnerability, because you're essentially overlaying reality with your own internal aesthetic.
This naturally leads us to Section 4, seeking retreat and healing, and exactly how you restore your balance. So, when the world gets to be too much, how do you cope? Well, you actually seek out beauty as a literal form of healing. We're talking about art, nature, poetry, fragrances, aesthetics, peaceful spaces. For someone with Venus in the 12th house, these things are not just fun hobbies or little luxuries, they are your sensory lifelines. They're absolutely vital methods for restoring your emotional balance. When the loud, chaotic world has completely drained your energy, immersing yourself in the perfect fragrance or taking a quiet walk in nature, that's the medicine you use to recover.
It is a fundamental requirement of your well-being that you take periods of retreat. You literally have to reconnect with yourself in quiet, beautiful moments. If you are constantly surrounded by noise, harshness, and endless demands, you just cannot process your complex emotions. Retracting into a beautifully curated, completely quiet space, that is exactly how you regain your inner harmony. It's not about isolation, it is essential emotional recalibration.
And now we arrive at our final section, Section 5, Mastering Emotional Discernment. This is the ultimate lesson.
Your absolute greatest lesson in life is learning the crucial difference between inspiration and influence. You really have to learn that they are not the same thing. Look, just because a stunning piece of art, a beautiful environment, or a captivating person creates an emotion inside you, doesn't mean that emotion actually reflects your true, authentic feelings. You can be deeply inspired by something without letting it entirely influence or dictate your reality.
The path to real growth starts with step 1, enjoying beauty. You have to embrace your empathic nature and let art and spaces move you. But step 2 is where you draw the line, avoiding dependence. You simply cannot allow every environment, relationship, or artistic experience to completely determine your emotional state. And when you finally master that boundary, you arrive at step 3, achieving inner harmony. You can fully appreciate what inspires you, but your core remains completely stable.
I want to leave you with one final, provocative question today. Knowing your profound sensitivity, knowing just how deeply you absorb the spaces, the art, and the romance around you, will you let beauty inspire your authentic self, or will you allow it to entirely determine your emotional state? The choice and the incredible power of emotional discernment is completely up to you. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the 12th house on The Explainer. Take some time to retreat, go find a genuinely beautiful space, and reflect on everything we unpacked here today.